But we were supposed to have a female in here today.
Oh shit.
You know how it is scheduling females, blah, blah, blah. I assume, all right, whatever. I ain't trying to hear that.
You scared.
Yeah, so Laurence Fishburne doesn't like his first daughter, Montana Fishburne, after she immediately went into the corn industry, corn with a P, after turning 18 and went against his entire legacy and all his teachings. He said she had every advantage and didn't even try to utilize them. And it broke him as a father, it broke him as a man. So we had this debate and this conversation on the Apollo about a week ago when I said the parents of this generation, the fathers of this generation have it the hardest out of any generation ever, because not only are you fighting the influence of the outside world, you're now fighting the influences of these devices and social media. Fathers of the past didn't have to deal with this. You just had to keep your daughter off the pole and make sure she graduated without a baby. And you were successful.
And she wasn't a prostitute.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And make sure she wasn't in the 304. Now, you fighting the corn industry, the OnlyFans, her doing OnlyFans for free via Instagram, Snapchat, her in Miami sucking bottles and then sucking the guys buying the bottles. Like, it's crazy. So Laurence Fishburne, legendary actor, legend, black legend, powerful man. I mean, he dropped substance in his movies, his interviews, everything. His daughter have every advantage in the world, and she decides to go be a 304. What does a man do at that point? Because you know for a fact he's giving her game, he's giving her money, every opportunity ever, and she still went and did the 304 stuff.
It was nothing he can do at that point. It's really nothing. He just got to do what he did, like you said, accept it and move on. She's grown now, and people can say it's harsh if he fall back, but she chose to make the choices she made. She wants to do that, and the attention needle is dangerous. That's what people don't understand. And if she is a woman that started, a lot of these women start having sex early. You know what I mean? They can't control their libidos, a lot of things, and they feel like they got to get in these spaces, and then she's going to regret it later, unless she wants to be a cum bucket. That's probably what she chose to do, and some people are just maybe wired like that. I don't understand it always, but you know what I mean? That's on her. She chose to be, she want to get viral off of that. That's going to be on her life, and he just got to move past that.
It's unfortunate because it's really nothing you can do. Like, you can raise your daughter up right, moral standards, keep her out of trouble, you know what I mean? Put her in the schools, do everything you want to do, and she's still going to have that social media thing or friends in her ear or just influences that may lead her to do the wrong thing. I don't think he's wrong at all for you know what I mean, cooling off her, especially if she's only 18. Like, bitch, I ain't giving you shit.
But well, I think she's grown more older than that. But I'm gonna say this though, off top. You know, he was a actor that maybe probably wasn't present
That's exactly
as far as being present. So we don't know if that girl maybe got touched on, molested, and that probably created this hypersexuality for her to do it at 18. But I'm going to say this, shout out to all the fathers that are there for their daughters. You know what I'm saying? That is hard to do. I do think he can take a step back because, again, as a provider and a father who's doing every opportunity to give her the world, it's still ultimately up her choice when she gets 18 how to conduct herself. Again, he can do all he can, put her in the best school. But again, when she get 18, there's nothing he really can do. He can fall back and say, look, I'm here. I don't agree with your lifestyle. But when you are ready to have a conversation and change, I'm willing to open up the relationship.
Now that you said that, though.
Just because your presence is there does not mean you're present with your child. Your child can still feel neglected with you sitting in the house.
Yeah.
That does not mean you're present with your child, actually knowing your child and really loving your child in a way that the child receives that love from you. So it's a lot of factors that can go into that. And I don't know the mother situation when it comes to that, because the mother plays a big part too. Yeah. The mother needs to be a certain way because the man can provide, but it's certain tools, especially when it comes to a daughter, that the mother has to bring into her.
As a black father, I feel like sometimes we damn if we do, damn if we don't, because we're the same community that were making fun of LeVar Ball. Before all of them blew up, they were like, oh, he's too hard on these kids. He's talking blasphemy about they're going to all three make it to the NBA, or how, like, prime example, Michael Jackson, Joe, you know, beat his kids to success. At the end of the day, it's like, no matter what you do, I mean, I'm just saying, no matter what you do, you're going to get criticized as a father. Because again, Laurence Fishburne is a great actor. We just talked about this. He gave her the best lifestyle she can. Look what she is right now, 304.
But
I'm saying, we damn if we do, damn if we don't.
But is it always because, like we say sometimes, when they don't earn it, that could be a handicap, right? Because if they not learning the value of the things that you're giving them, I gave you the best of everything, but then now it's like you don't appreciate it, you don't even care about it. So it's like, this is nothing. But like, you already gave me this lavish lifestyle. You never knew how it was. That's why, even it sound crazy, they say the best thing for some people is to come out of a poor environment and then make it, because you know the work it takes, the appreciation, a lot of things is different. But I think you have to, even also when you're a person that has money, able to do that, they still have to know the value and earn a lot of different things when it comes to it. Make sure they got all the basics, the clothes and shoes and the stuff that to keep them full. But I think a lot of just giving them and flourishing them with everything, like you said, LeVar Ball, perfect example. He gave his kids Lambos at 16, but he also
had them in the gym.
He also had a disciplinary on them to where they knew what the work ethic and it took. And his psychological way of doing it was smart to me, because now once they get their money, they don't care about the flashy whips, the chains, even though they might get them.
System already.
Yeah, exactly. So when y'all tempt them with this stuff, they don't care. They tell them why they back at the house when they should be out with females. Them niggas is like, nigga, I'm over this. I've been getting that, nigga. So.
But to y'all point about how he, like, do y'all think that maybe he is, in a way, trying to take what he gave and put that higher than what maybe he gave emotionally or mentally? Because you guys did kind of just say, like, you could be there and not really be there, or not really, have an impact in your daughter's life. And then is materialism the know all be all? Because he could have, like you said, he could have gave her the cars, clothes, put her in a good school, but maybe he wasn't there 24/7.
You can't be when you being great.
Yeah, does that play?
But at the same time,
I don't want to assume that he didn't give her no game.
Yeah.
So we just kind of assuming he didn't because of his career path. Yeah. But I don't want to assume the worst just because that's what we naturally
seem like a solid dude.
But only reason I brought this up, this whole topic, is because a lot of people don't like to give parents grace when kids make the wrong decisions. Mm-hmm. Kids are ultimately responsible for their own decisions. At the end of the day, I don't know why people don't want to accept that fact. You could get them game till they blue in the face. My teachers told me what was right and what was wrong till they was blue in the face. So did my parents. I wanted to do the wrong shit that I went out there and did. That's just part of being a human. We are naturally wired to go against authority for whatever reason. Maybe the environment I come from and how I was brought up, a lot of people, some people go with the grain. Me, I just was always a person like, nah, I think I can get away with it. And then I get caught and they're like, oh, damn. All right.
Right. Even for me, when I did things, I felt like I had to, because I always couldn't get everything. And then when I learned that, then you low-key get addicted to the fast life and stuff like that. So for me, it was I never understood people that had it at home and you want to come out and do crime with us. I didn't get that.
I get it.
Yeah, no, but I would have never even thought about trying to do that. I had no reason to.
That's crazy.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I felt like if I had to hustle or sell weed or go out and hit a lick, it's because I had to. I felt like that. So
we romanticize it.
From a lack of options, huh?
I'm saying our culture romanticizes the struggle where you're not looked at as respected if you come from a good home.
Privilege.
So a lot of those good kids come to fuck with the kids like us who grew up less privileged, and they pretend to be less privileged, and then they want to prove themselves even more. So maybe that was the case with her, where she had every opportunity, but she wanted the thrill of the struggle. So hey, I'm gonna go be a 304.
But it's like we say, we don't really know how he raised her and stuff like that. But if you're an actor and the type of actor he is, like you said, you're going to be on set for months.
Yeah.
But if you on set now, this is another lane where you could be introducing your daughter to your work. You know what I'm saying? Keeping her on set with you, watching how you work, how you do your job, and things like that. To where maybe one day you could have sent her into the acting route. So it's a lot of different things. But I want to say this, like bro said, you do got to give parents grace, because I see so many parents going through it with their kids, especially nowadays, where they don't know what the fuck to do. There is no written blueprint on how to be a parent. Depending where you at and depending how you was raised plays a lot of effect in that. And you just got to pray on it, do the best you can, and hope that they turn out the way that you envision or that you want them to be. But you have to really be on them. And you can't let the teaching stop just at school. You have to be a teacher yourself. They have to learn and embed that in them.
Shout out to the millennials, because we're literally writing the blueprint right now for the next generation. We are the blueprint manual writers.
Yep.
We're the first generation where the kids were born on the devices, and we got to battle against that. Like, there's an interview I just seen. I forget the guy's name, but he works in tech, and he said he doesn't even allow technology in his house for real, because they've already seen the studies. They've seen how kids turn into zombies and people turn into zombies off of these devices. And from the time your kid is about 5 or 6, when they get their first device, From that point until the rest of their existence under your home, you are now in a battle with the screen for time with your kid, meaning that when you take that screen time away, your kid's now angry at you. Your kid now is growing a disdain for you as a parent. Your kid now is ready to revolt against you because you took the screen time away. So all the game that our parents gave us, our kids are starting to say, man, fuck you and that game. Give me my phone back. Give me my iPad back. So you're working double time. So this is why I say you got to give parents a lot of grace, because the mentality these kids have today, we didn't have because we wasn't born on this shit. We was outside. We still had a connection to the real world and knowing how to socialize and come home and sit in the living room and watch TV as a family and shit like that. These kids is different, bro.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie though. Some of these kids be needing their ass beat.
They do. But
some of these kids be needing their ass whipped. I don't care this new era now.
They do.
Whippings is not as I guess it's not as effective for certain things, but kids, some of these kids just you come out the womb a motherfucking nut.
I'm gonna tell you
some of these kids come out the womb a nut. It could have been from their grandfather, their father, any type of something. But some kids just I ain't saying beat your kids and shit like that, but they need to they need to understand sometimes. And the whooping might save their life versus you just letting them do what the fuck they want to do. Like you just said, we talked about this last year when we was talking about this same topic with these devices.
Yeah.
Kids 3-4 years old. Throw a whole tantrum, breaking shit, and then all they want to do is, I feel bad. I need to give them their shit back. I need to do this or do that. Like you're not instilling enough in them when it comes to a lot of that shit. In my opinion,
I think that's the biggest challenge for parents in today's time is like, how do they not go overboard or go too far in the past with the way they, like taking from what their parents did and parenting their kids like that, but then also keeping that balance of like the firmness still, because you have some parents who don't even want to whip their kids at all, which I'm not disagreeing with that, but then you have to find some sort of way to discipline them and instill, in my opinion, some sort of fear to a certain degree and respect, obviously, because my pops, it wasn't like we wasn't scared of him, but if bro says something, it's like,
it has
okay,
more fear with your father.
Yeah, it's like
but on these apps too, man, you got stuff on TikTok telling you if your parents whoop you, this is the number of children's services.
But we had that too.
Like, no, it's not, it wasn't in your face like that, bro. Yeah. And honestly, not like that. You got the technology going against the parent, and on top of that as well, you got so many laws basically saying what corporal punishment is. It's not just whooping your kids. Making your kids do push-ups if they're in trouble is a form of corporal punishment.
That's nuts.
There's no way you can properly punish your children and low-key get away with it. The only thing you can do is take away their devices. If they yelling all that stuff with you, you got to accept it. Because if you lay your hands on your children, it's a strong chance they get taken away. And I feel like at times, sometimes you gotta allow them kids to go and let them go experience what the real world is. Because what you seeing on this device is you think somebody go adopt you. No, they go put your ass in a group home. And you only, that's real talk. Sometimes these kids really need to experience it. They need to start bringing back programs like Scared Straight or placement and things like that for these kids to understand. Like when you go deal with the real world, these is real life consequences. It's not all glimmer and gold in this household.
I know niggas went to camp and came back worse.
Hey, I was about to say, I ain't gonna lie, I went to the Scared Straight program. I laughed at that shit.
Yeah, niggas was.
But I knew for a fact them niggas couldn't do nothing, so I was in there low key laughing at
in general,
niggas.
like, all right, well, then
like
you go to camp.
for niggas in our environment, you can't take them no Scared Straight. Nigga, you in the streets, nigga.
No,
Ain't
but
no taking them
I'm
Scared
but-
Straight.